Welcome back to the In the Deep End podcast. I'm Cosmic.
I'm Shanda.
And go ahead and watch this video for us really quick.
Now, I don't usually get in nobody's business, but Chanel, can you please tell me why you won't let him see his kids? He over here on Tanger Outlet and Fuller Parkway. He said, Chanel, right. Let me see my son. Dads are important too. You know, it's a little hot out here and he's posting his sign. I want to know why he can't see his kids. What happened? What's the tea?
So what do you think about this guy?
Hilarious.
Isn't it funny?
And sad all at the same time.
Is it sad?
It is.
Why?
Because apparently he's being kept away from his kids and he's like desperate.
But why stand in the middle of
because maybe that's her route home or something. That could be her route home from work or to work or wherever. I don't know. Or maybe it's her mom's route to work. Who knows? I don't know. But, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures.
I don't know. I think that it's hilarious. He's taking time out of his day in this way to be standing out there in the heat with this sign. And then making her look bad in front of the community. It's almost like, how you know her boss doesn't drive down there or whatever, you know, anything.
Well, she shouldn't be keeping the kid away.
It's almost like, isn't that, what's her name from high school?
Like, she didn't say no last name.
It does.
No, it doesn't,
It
does it?
did.
Oh.
It said, what did it say? It said Chanel M. Wright.
Oh, wow.
So he's like putting her all on blast.
Well,
so I don't know. I think it's funny, but I don't know why. I'm not sure why women do that. Anyway, can you shine any light on that?
Yeah, I mean, it happened to us. It happened to us. Me and you and your dad initially. Remember, he was saying that I wouldn't let him see you for the first, couple months.
That's not
or
what
year,
he said.
Whatever it was.
That's not what he said.
What did he say?
He said that, your mom was all like, well, he's not yours. So he was like, all right, cool. He said he had bought the crib and everything and presents. So he said he's the one who didn't want to see me. He says you guys would be at a ghost house or somebody's house and you'd pull up in the driveway and he'd leave.
That's kind of the situation, but we had a Jerry. We had a Jerry situation on our hands, you guys. We did. But yes, I told him that you weren't his because I didn't want you to be.
Right.
So I told him that you weren't. And then after a while, there was just no denying it. There was no denying it. So after we came to the conclusion that you were his, then he was like, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I was just like, man. And you know what? And I kind of drug my feet on it. I wasn't answering calls and stuff. So I did the same stuff.
Okay.
Why I did it? Because I just didn't want it to be, and it was selfish. And I was just kind of going on my own feelings, not really realizing that it was detrimental to Cosmic as well as to his dad. But over time, I kind of came to the realization that I'm just being ridiculous and unfair and stupid.
It only took you, 3 years?
Yeah, well, that's still a long time.
Yeah.
That's still a long time. And he missed out on a lot. Because
of the beginning stuff.
Yeah, because of my selfishness and my stupidity.
As I've said on the podcast a lot before, on my mom's side, it's very, corporate valley-like. And then on my dad's side, it's very...
Boys in the hood,
very Friday-like, so there was that dynamic going on. So that's probably what she's referring to when she says didn't want it to be in that regard. So
yeah, right, because I just didn't want that for my life, and did not want that for Cosmic either. But I gotta say, you guys, that was a huge mistake on my part. apart because his dad was the best.
Yeah, no, my dad wasn't for the whole, he did teach us some things that were a little, because that's who he was. But he was very strict about, you guys are not going to be like me. You have to be better than me in what I did with my life. That's something that he always said. He was very serious about that. So it all worked out pretty good.
He was a great guy, and we co-parented like amazingly. But I did the same thing. So I'm not gonna throw rocks.
It's a lot of personal things that
but the mistake is when you have a kid, it's not about you anymore, and it's not about what you think, and it's not about what you feel.
Right.
It's about what's best for the kid or kids, whatever the situation.
Right.
But we just are so messed up, I think, in our own heads when we're going through all of this stuff, that we do and make decisions that are based on us instead of them. So I feel bad for this guy. And then especially this day and age where
it's hard to even have a guy that wants to.
Exactly.
Right.
And here's one that is, apparently desperately wanting to be apart.
Apparently.
And she's not allowing it for whatever reason. Now, who knows what her reasons are?
Yeah,
we don't know.
Right.
It could be something, that is just unacceptable. But he obviously wants to be a part of his kids' lives. And I think too many women keep the kids away from the father trying to punish them, or I'm going to punish you for not wanting me. Okay? Or I'm going to punish you for not being what I thought you should be. Or whatever the case, because it's all about us when we make these decisions. Now, keep in mind, I know before comments even come in, I am not saying that they're graping the kids or emming the kids or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. Burning them with cigarettes.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm just talking about average, everyday situations.
Right.
Okay? I realize there are some other horrific things. That's not what we're talking about. If a dad wants to be involved, no matter the circumstance between the mom and dad's relationship, it should be separate. Do not commingle the two, because it's not fair to the kid.
Yeah, I agree. This is completely off topic, but it's not even in the realm really, but it's kind of in the realm. But on TikTok not too long ago, I think like 3 days ago, I saw this TikTok of this white lady that, shows up to this guy's house. And he answers the door and he's like, "Hey, where the hell have you been? It's been 11 years.
11 years?
So she had the baby.
Uh-huh.
They were supposed to be like, little family or whatever. She had the baby. And he ended up leaving the hospital by himself because she disappeared and shows up 11 years later.
So he left the hospital with the baby.
Like, he ends up taking the baby home by himself because she disappears.
Wow.
And he was like, where have you been? But he was like, he really loves this girl. Because he's like very like, man, where have you been? It's been 11 years, And then the kid comes to the door. He's like, yeah, this is your mom. And he goes, that's my mom? And so it was like I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was just such a crazy dynamic. And people were like talking shit about her in the comments. And he was like not really having it. He's not arguing with them, but you can tell that he's just glad that she showed up. So
he's not bitter at all.
At all.
That is crazy.
At all. Yeah, and I
would have broke her nose slamming the door so hard.
As I think a lot of people would. But yeah, no. So it's definitely something I just wanted to bring up really quick. But as far as this guy goes with the sign, hopefully he gets to see his kid.
Yeah, I hope he does too. I hope he gets to see his child too. It's just, I don't know why women do that stuff, man. I don't know. It's just that we're hurt, I guess. Hurt and childish. immature, not being able to, differentiate between our relationship with the person and the kid's relationship. So, I don't know. And then I'm gonna file child support on you, right? But so this is what I have to say to all the men out there who want to see their child and they're having these problems with the mother. The man's gonna make them do. So if you want to see your kid, go get court order to see your kid. Okay, there's no reason why you can't see your kid because the court is going to make them do the right thing.
Right.
So, and a lot of guys now, let's face it too, a lot of guys might use that as an excuse not to be involved or
right.
Okay,
so when the kid goes, you were never in my life, they can say your mom, right,
instead of doing what they need to do to go legally be able to see their kid. So there's always ways around it.
And that's true. It's like if you're really serious about it, it's almost like there's this huge TikTok person right now. He goes by the name of 2K, and he had a baby with this girl, and it's been a whole thing. Like, it litters TikTok, and all the content creators chip in on their opinions and stuff like that, and he's always at the court. He's always has a court date because he's fighting for custody for this kid. So if you're really serious about it, you would think those are the steps you would take.
Exactly.
And you're not standing in the blazing heat with the sign and with the potential that no one is not going to be impactful at all other than someone having sympathy for you and making a video like this. So I don't know. That's an interesting perspective.
Now, granted, attorneys are expensive, so okay, that's a whole other element that may be why you can't go to court and try to fight for some sort of visitation. But there are ways around that too, and water takes the path of least resistance, right? So people don't like to climb uphill if they don't have to.
Exactly.
So sometimes people just say, well, when he or she turns 18, then we can have a relationship. A lot of people do that, but that's detrimental to the child also.
And what they don't realize is you've given her 18 years to paint this narrative of you. So, that's going to be kind of difficult to break depending on what their depending on who that person is as an individual and what kind of relationship they've built with the mother.
Yeah.
Those things are going to come into play on how that 18 wait till 18 situation plays out. So I don't know. It's interesting. So glad I don't have to deal with stuff like this. So, hopefully he gets to see his kids if that's what he really wants.
I think it's what he really wants. And, maybe he just doesn't know what else to do.
Right, maybe.
And he decided to go out there and stand in the blazing heat with the sign. I don't know. And then maybe, who knows? Maybe she'll see it and have mercy on it. You don't know. So anyhow,
we'll see.
Yeah.
So all right, that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.